Morning, 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 you beautiful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. You're looking absolutely amazing on this marvellous, marvellous Monday. That's it, baby. It's Monday. A new week, new grievances that we'll all have, no doubt. We have had a terror attack, but we're not allowed to call it a terror attack. Just down the road from me. Just down the road. But I am going to be talking about that live this evening. So if you want to hear more about that, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification bell so you'll know when indeed I go live later on. What a shit show that is. But anyway, what are we talking about this morning? We're talking about Erika Kirk again, because in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, we know that there was issues surrounding his support of Israel. We've been shown this letter that Charlie supposedly wrote to Bibi Netanyahu and was criticising their social media presence and offering his help, despite also saying that they shouldn't get external help. And it seemed that Charlie's stance was that perhaps he wasn't in full agreement with the influence that this kind of regime was having on America, and that a lot of things in America was kind of being sculpted around them. Maybe I've got it wrong, who knows. I don't think anything around this case is very straightforward. But in the aftermath of understanding that there clearly was issues, with Charlie Kirk himself even saying that he was being called some horrendous names around his stance on Israel and his kind of his shift away from certain things, what do we see in Erika Kirk? Erika Kirk coming out, and she is going to be accepting an award of all things, and where? That's right, you got it right, in Israel. Let's just have a quick look. So it says, Erika Kirk, the widow of assassinated US conservative activist and Israel supporter, making sure they get that in there. Don't forget, Charlie Kirk was an Israel supporter. And don't get me wrong, Charlie Kirk said that there was many things about Israel that he supported, but there was also many things that he did not. And many have speculated that it could have perhaps been this shift that had resulted in his death. I'm not here to point fingers at anyone, but in the absence of a clear and transparent story, I'm going to look all over the place and leave no stone unturned, not just pick up random stones that we feel will be beneficial to our narrative. So it says, we'll accept an award on his behalf at the Christian Media Summit in Jerusalem this week. The government press office says in a statement, Israel is hosting over 100 influential Christian figures for the event, which includes an award ceremony honouring some participants for their exceptional contribution to Israeli public diplomacy worldwide, according to the GPO, which is organising the 4-day summit alongside the Foreign Ministry and the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Over 100 representatives of leading Christian media outlets, opinion leaders, religious figures, and heads of organisations from various countries are expected to attend, the GPO says, adding that the summit aims to deepen understanding of Israeli society, confront the phenomenon of anti-Semitism on social networks, and present Israel as an innovative, diverse, and open nation. Good luck with that. Especially since Charlie Kirk himself, again, as aforementioned, would go on to Megyn Kelly's show and say that himself, they had made statements that seemed to suggest that he was, when you look at anti-Semitism, him being put in that ballpark, and he weren't fucking happy about it. Weren't happy about it just because of a little pushback on certain areas that he felt needed change or adjustment. Can't do that. You can't change, you can't adjust. You're getting bored, you get on board, or, well, you tell me. 4 months before he was assassinated during an appearance at a US college campus in September, Kirk wrote a letter. We don't know whether we've seen that letter. We've seen a letter, but that letter took a little while for it to come to fruition. So Did he write that letter? Was that indeed the letter he wrote? You tell me down below what you think. What are the chances? To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, criticising Israel's efforts on social media, recommending ways for Israel to improve its public diplomacy and offering to meet with the Premier on the matter. The summit comes as conservatives in the US are embroiled in a debate over anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiment in their movement. Was Charlie Kirk an anti-Semite? Because that's what they seem to suggest that he was. And again, he wasn't very happy about that. But in the aftermath of his death, it seems that mainstream media are pushing Charlie Kirk was a supporter. He supported Israel through and through. He so much so that he's going to be getting an award for it. And who of all people are going to be going to accept this award on his behalf? None other than Erika Kirk. So in the midst of, and this is what I find really fucking frustrating, in the midst of what happened to Charlie, and anyone with half a brain can see that the story that we're being told isn't the full story. Now, I'm not here to say Tyler Robinson isn't the person who pulled the trigger. I'm not here to say that. I don't know. What I do know is the story doesn't seem to make sense. We've got certain people, such as Candace Owens, claiming that Tyler Robinson had never even gone onto that campus. Then you've got students. There are interviews that you can pull up on X who are claiming that they saw Tyler Robinson and potentially even interacted with him in the days leading up to the shooting. So did they see him? Didn't they see him? If they didn't see him, then is this a larger blanket of people involved in trying to assist pushing the narrative that Tyler Robinson was indeed the shooter? Or was Tyler indeed the shooter, but he was working under the influence or instruction of a third party? I don't think, from what I've heard and what I've seen about Tyler Robinson, I'm 99.9995% sure that he wouldn't have been working under his own volition if he was the person who took that shot. And look, there are indicators that he could have indeed been the person who took that shot. What person would aim for Charlie Kirk's neck, for instance? There's a very, very random place to aim for. So for me, the shot almost seems like a failed shot, whether they were going for centre mass and misjudged or they were going for head and misjudged. For me, and I'm not someone who is overly familiar with guns and firing them, to me, the most sense when you're shooting at elevation with an older weapon and potentially a tampered with round, which again would seemingly have to be the case if you believe that that was indeed the round that we're being told, because it didn't behave in the manner that it was supposed to behave. It didn't go through him, didn't take his head fucking clean off. It stopped inside the Man of Steel's body when you would have expected it to take his head clean off. But again, the bullet coming down and descending into the neck seems to be lost velocity, lost power, and it dipped and hit him in the neck. And again, I come from a place of ignorance or relative ignorance, but the story and the behaviour of everybody around this case in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, including his beloved wife, Erika Kirk, which we're going to talk about her later, because there's been some people have rarely called her out, and there's been some huge backlash over it. But I do feel that we do have to just touch on it one last time, just to see whether the criticisms are warranted, and if they are, why they are. But look, let me know how you feel about this. Leading up to Charlie's demise, he very clearly had issues with Israel and made that abundantly clear. The Hamptons trip that some of us have heard about, where he would almost be bullied and he would also lose some support over his stance or adjusting stance on Israel. And lo and behold, literally not even 2 months after his death, we hear that he is going to be given an award from that very place. There we go. Love you all. Enjoy your Monday, and I will catch you all later. Twice. Remember, subscribe to the channel, smash that notification bell, and likes and all that jazz. Do your part, and I shall catch you all live and have a chat about this train situation as well. Love you all. Mwah.